Just past Snoqualmie Falls, the Snoqualmie River flows through rich farmland and the towns of Falls City, Carnation, and Duval in East King County before it connects with the Snoqualmie River to form the Snohomish River. The Snoqualmie is a beautiful stretch of water, abundant with fish and wildlife, and a popular recreational area for fishing, swimming, and boating. I'm Battalion Chief Greg Tryon with Eastside Fire and Rescue. Everybody who uses the river shares the responsibility for its protection. In that respect, we are all environmental stewards. I'd like to share some simple guidelines to make your next visit to the river safer and more enjoyable, and to help protect this great natural resource. If you are rafting or boating on the river, there are two access points that are good places to put your boat in the water upstream. The first access point is located at the south end of 372nd off of Highway 202, where it meets Fish Hatchery Road. The second public access is located a short distance downstream along Fish Hatchery Road. A boat ramp is available at the second access point, but be prepared to carry your boat or raft to the water. There is no public access upstream of the Tokal Creek Bridge. It generally works best to have two vehicles in your group, parking one at the exit point in Falls City. Parking is available at the north end of the bridge at Falls City Park. This gives you a ride back to your starting point at the end of the day. Your boating party and gear can then drive to the access points I just showed you to start this trip. But you'll have to park the second vehicle someplace too. You need to know recreational parking permits are required for most of the off-street parking at the upstream access points. As of July 1st, 2011, the statewide Discover Pass can be purchased online or anywhere fishing licenses are sold for $10 a day or $30 for the annual pass. Good at all state recreation sites. Cash-only parking on private property near the upstream access points may be available on select weekends at the discretion of local property owners. This is a great place to park if it's available. On-street parking is allowed only on one side of the narrow rural roads to allow access for emergency equipment. Watch for the signs. If you park on the wrong side of the road, your car will be towed at your own expense, and that's an expensive hassle you don't want to deal with. Believe me, it will ruin your day. Because this is a rural recreation area, public facilities are limited. A restroom and garbage receptacles are available at the upstream access point. And portable Santa cans and garbage disposal are located in Falls City at the exit points and at Falls City Park. This river and natural area have no staff or funding for human waste or trash removal, so make your pit stops before you go and be considerate of your fellow river users and residents. And let me say a little more about garbage. It's dirty, ugly, and pollutes the habitat of wildlife and endangered Chinook salmon, as well as winter steelhead that live here and require clean water for survival. It's costly to clean up and harmful to the environment. Throwing garbage in the river is a violation of state regulations and is punishable by a fine of up to $1,000. Local laws against littering also are enforced on land along the river. You're probably going to bring some food and drinks along on your trip, so keep a garbage bag in your raft or boat. Stow your bottles, cans, and trash in the bag during your trip, and then toss bag garbage in one of the trash bins when you're done. There even are recycling bins for cans and bottles. It's one of the most important things you can do to help keep the river clean. And remember, I'm with Fire and Rescue. It seems like each year somebody dies needlessly because they failed to respect the power of the river. Rivers are inherently dangerous. We can't make the river safe for people who don't make themselves safe. And the smartest thing you can do on the river is to wear a personal flotation device, which we call a PFD. In fact, starting in 2011, PFDs are now mandatory for all recreational boaters. A PFD will help keep you afloat should you wind up in the river and in trouble. Make sure your raft or boat is seaworthy enough to handle the rocks and branches that are in the river. They'll puncture a cheap air mattress or raft in a heartbeat, and you'll find yourself in water someplace where you don't want to be. You will need paddles to maneuver your craft around obstacles in the water. And no matter how hot it is outside, remember, the water in the Snoqualmie River is always cold. Anytime you're in the water, there is a risk of hypothermia. It can happen in a matter of minutes, and hypothermia will shut down even the strongest swimmers. So be smart. When you're on the river, protect yourself, protect the environment, and make sure you have an enjoyable experience by following the guidelines we've talked about. Please help preserve the natural beauty of the river and protect the wildlife habitat. Remember to leave no trace. Thank you for respecting the river.